Welcome to Scare Talk, a horror movie podcast for horror film reviews, ratings, rankings, and rumors. Now for your hosts, Danny, Joel, and Katrina.
Whoa, here we go. This is Scare Talk. I am Danny, and I am here with Christian Katrina.
Oh, okay.
And Jewish Joel.
Oh,
hey guys, what's up?
Yeah.
Jewish.
Yeah. So this is our last film of the 12 Days of Scaremas. This is the... Oh, no.
Oh, no. What day are we on? Is it day 11?
I don't know.
The 11th day of Scaremas?
Yes. Okay. So this is the 11th day of Scaremas. So on the 11th day of Scaremas, my true love gave to me A Creature Was Stirring from 2023.
Danny's pick.
This is my pick. This is the one I was looking forward to. We'll see how it turned out.
Yeah.
We will.
All right, Joel, tell us who is a part of this.
All right. So this one stars Chrissy Metz. She is Faith. She was in Muppet's Haunted Mansion. 5 episodes of American Horror Story. And most people know her from This Is Us, which she was in 106 episodes of.
Yes.
I think it's
All right.
the entire run of the show.
Yes.
And then we have Annalise Basso. She's Charm. She was in 28 episodes of Snowpiercer, Ouija, Origin of Evil, Slender Man, and Mike Flanagan's upcoming project, which is a Stephen King movie, which is The Life of Chuck, which I don't think we'll be covering on the channel because it's not technically horror. It's like drama, sci-fi kind of thing. It wasn't horror at all. I'm still going to see it, but I don't know if we're going to cover it. And then we've got Scout Taylor Compton. She was in Halloween, Rob Zombie's Halloween 1 and 2. And Obsessed, which was a Beyonce movie.
She was in that?
Yeah, I didn't realize until I looked it up. Oh, okay. And then 7 episodes of Nashville. Yeah. And this was written by Shannon Wells, who did nothing else besides this movie.
Okay.
And this was directed by Damien Levesque. So this is funny. So he's credited with doing 6 things total, including this one. So he did a movie called Dark, Deadly, and Dreadful segment. His segment was The Cleansing Hour. So it was one of those anthology movies. He also did The Cleansing Hour, the movie. And then he did another anthology, Asylum, Twisted Horror, and Fantasy Tales. And his segment was The Cleansing Hour. And before that, he did a short called The Cleansing Hour. So
he really likes that title.
Do you remember that movie, Katrina?
Which one?
The actual
The Cleansing
movie.
Hour?
Yeah.
The actual movie.
It was on Shudder. It's like a guy who would do exorcisms online.
Almost like a documentary style?
No, that was Last Exorcism. That was like a found footage one. But this one was a guy who would do them online, like as a show.
Mm-hmm.
He had like an online show that he would stream, and it would be exorcisms.
Yeah.
And then obviously it was all fake.
Yeah.
And then he comes across an actual possessed person.
Okay.
And I
can picture it.
Yeah, it is a lot like it, but it's not found footage.
Yeah.
And it's more like of a show.
But it shows it as like the YouTube. Like almost like a YouTube type thing.
It shows parts of it like that. Yeah. It has and
it's like
dark ending.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like I can picture like this like really like reddish room.
I don't know.
I don't know. That's just what
We saw
was
it
coming to
once
my mind.
a few years ago.
I feel like
think it was
I feel like
2020.
I absolutely know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it was pretty decent. Okay. So,
Okay.
So, yeah, he really likes that story though. So
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So, a nurse taking care of her daughter's mysterious affliction struggles to hide her secrets when uninvited strangers take shelter in her house during a lethal blizzard.
a lethal.
That's definitely a lethal blizzard.
Yeah.
Okay. I have a very different description on my phone. So that's interesting.
Okay.
Okay. Do you want to know what the critics say?
Sure.
Okay, let's see. The tomato meter only has 10 reviews so far, and it gives it a 50%
Wow. Okay.
So far, it's a rotten tomato.
so far.
Yep.
The audience score is at 41%.
Ooh.
Wow.
Fewer than
Okay.
50 ratings.
All right.
So then IMDb has it at a 4.9.
Okay.
226 reviews.
See, that's the thing. Okay. First of all, this is a brand new movie, so I think we should save spoilers for
Yes,
a little later.
yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Now one thing is this movie was not promoted at all. It was not advertised, but it has a pretty well-known actress in it.
Yes.
Playing the lead role. It's a Christmas horror movie. The acting is good. You know, I mean, we can get into all the specifics about what we liked or not, but it's a well produced, legit movie.
Mm-hmm.
But for whatever reason, it just didn't get any sort of marketing. I remember seeing the trailer for it a couple of months ago from Bloody Disgusting, and then it just disappeared. And we were talking is this going to come out? It has a release date, but we're not hearing anything about it. So that was what I wanted to watch. And we're like, okay, we'll see when it comes to the time if it actually is going to be released. And if not, we'll have to pick something different. But it did come out and we did watch it.
But it didn't come to theater.
It
Not
wasn't
to our theater.
Yeah, it was in select theaters, very select. I looked it up and it was barely anywhere. So
Yeah, because usually when it's select theaters, we get it.
yeah, we'll get in one of the, bunch of theaters in the Sacramento area.
Yeah.
We'll have it at least for a showing. So that's why there's only limited reviews of this movie. I don't think a lot of people knew about this movie.
Yeah.
So, which sucks because personally, it's not my favorite Christmas horror movie. But I thought it was okay. The ending, I don't really know what to think about the end.
But that's
Yeah.
kind of what I like about it.
Yeah.
I kind of like that because it keeps you thinking and it makes you want to see it again.
Yeah.
Because it really did make me want to okay, I want to watch that again.
Yeah.
And I did fall asleep. And so I woke up at the end. And so I saw the end. And then Danny was like, okay, you have to rewind it and watch till it gets there. And so I did watch it again.
Yeah.
Half of it. And then even then I still was like, oh, okay, I want to watch that again. From the beginning to end.
Joel,
And
do you
really-
feel like you grasped the ending and how it wrapped up? You don't say what it was, but do you feel like you did it?
Yes and no. Because
Yeah, I
the
feel like I
ending
have an
was
idea, but
yeah. I definitely do too. And it's something that I kind of called early on. I was like, I wonder if it's gonna go this route. And it did, and also didn't. I don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, we'll definitely talk about that one when it comes time to do spoilers, because
yeah.
you can't not talk about spoilers in this movie.
Yeah.
Just not
It
gonna
kind of
happen.
makes or breaks the
It's-
movie.
Well,
ending.
okay, so but here's the
Yeah.
thing. Do you think that the ending being that we're like, did we get it? Did we not? Do you think that was intentional? For it to be
Um,
kind of confusing almost.
Just like you, I'd have to rewatch it because I have questions about their little way of ending that didn't really work with me. So
Okay.
I definitely want to talk about that. It tries it. Oh, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
I don't want to keep talking about it because we're not in the spoiler section
Yeah.
yet. So
I mean, if we keep
every-
talking about it, we're gonna need some hydration.
That's true.
true.
So let's take a pause and we'll
Okay.
talk about how we can get hydrated.
Okay.
All right. The best way to do that is with Liquid IV. You know, I spend hours and hours on the computer trying to edit these episodes, get them all out for the 12 days of Scaremas.
Yeah.
And I need my Liquid IV in order to stay energized and stay hydrated. It's a little powder that you put into your water. It has 3 times the electrolytes of a sports drink like a Gatorade or Powerade. Many different flavors. And they all taste good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you know they also have one that actually helps with aiding for sleep? Yeah. So I knew
didn't
they
know
had
about
the
that.
energizing ones, but as we've been talking more about it and getting more into it, I was looking and they actually have ones for sleep too. Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm excited to try that one.
Yeah, I hadn't heard that one.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, if you're like us, need to get hydrated, then go get some Liquid IV. Real people, real
You're
flavor.
a human.
Yeah.
If you're human, yes.
If you're like
Yeah.
us and you need to drink water and stay hydrated, go to liquidiv.com. Real people, real flavor, real hydrating. Get 20% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use code ScareTalkCode at checkout. That's 20% off anything you order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code ScareTalkCode at liquidiv.com.
Awesome.
All right, so I want to ask you guys about I don't think this is a spoiler. Obviously, there's a creature in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I wanna
creature was
ask you-
I
stirring.
think that
so.
I want to ask you guys what you thought of how the creature looked.
At the beginning, I felt okay about it. As the movie went on and the creature kind of became a like specific creature, I was like, I didn't see that at the beginning. Like I didn't see it as that. And I don't know if it's a spoiler to be like saying exactly what it became.
Yeah, let's
But-
not say what
yeah.
it is. Yeah.
But then like they specifically talk about it.
Yeah.
And when they first started that conversation, I'm like, why are we talking about this? And then I'm like, oh, that's what the creature is?
Mhm.
You know, it was like trying too hard. And then it just
I think it's connected to the end. They chose that creature for a reason.
Well, yes. I get that. I'm getting that just as you said it. I'm getting it now.
Yeah.
And okay, I can get down with that in a way, but I felt like it was forced.
Yeah. What do you think of the way it looked, Joel? Because this is a practical effects monster. This is not CGI. This is the real deal.
Yeah. And I was very impressed with the fact that it was not CGI and that it was practical. And I do like that. I just feel like what we ended up getting felt like it was in a different movie than what we were watching.
Yes.
This
movie.
movie was too like polished and like too it was very well made to have a creature like that at the end of the movie kind of made it more B-rated to me.
Yeah.
But then only in that scene though, because when we talk about the ending and everything, it kind of makes me not hate it anymore. Once we
Yeah.
find out what's going on. But when we see it, it's a little B-rated. Like the whole
It's a little
creature
cheap looking.
itself. Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's not what there's nothing cheap about this movie. So
Yeah.
like even the writing for that one writer who's never done anything before this, like the writing was actually really good. And so I hope she finds more work at some point. But yeah, so like everything was just well made. To have that kind of thrown in kind of like made it feel a little cheap.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it,
it's
like I said,
like,
it does
okay.
get better.
Yeah.
At the end.
Yeah, it made me laugh.
Yeah. It
Um,
was pretty ridiculous looking.
Yeah.
It's cool. Like I feel like they could have done better if they didn't show it so much.
Yeah.
So like right in frame, you know, if they would have kept
Yeah.
it like more shadowed or a little less like just right in your face.
Yeah.
Because then when you see it full on, it's like it kind of takes you out of it.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
like a CGI monster can take you out of a movie.
Yeah.
This one also did. And so that's kind of like that sucks to say, but it's true. I don't know if it just wasn't top quality practical effects work or if it's just like how if you want to make a monster like that, like that's just kind of how it's going to look. You know?
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah.
I mean, the way that it was like coming at them, and it was pretty funny.
That's when
Rolling
I
around.
knew you were. That's when I knew you were asleep because I was like, I was making comments about a certain video game character that it was reminding me of.
Oh, yeah.
It totally was.
And she didn't respond. So I was like, okay, she's sleeping. So
I'm
you'll
picturing either Sonic or Pac-Man. I'm not sure which one you're going with. Here.
well,
we don't want to give it away.
Oh yeah.
It's very much like one of those characters because of that character.
Because of that character. Because
Yeah.
it is.
Very specific. So, you know, it's if you're gonna go watch this, which I do think it's recommended, at least by me, to go watch. Just know that the creature's kind of silly looking. You'll probably get a little laugh out of it, but it's a very, very serious story.
Mm-hmm.
Very serious story.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like a joke.
Yeah, that's
Might
another
make
thing
you laugh,
too.
but it's very serious.
Yeah, if the movie wasn't taking itself seriously, then that wouldn't have been a problem for me either.
Yeah,
but it was. So you can't have a creature looking like that when you're taking yourself seriously. So.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean it's not a Christmas movie. I wouldn't say.
Okay. That was what I was gonna say.
Oh, okay.
Is you advertised this and talked about it like it's a Christmas horror movie. It is advertised as a Christmas horror movie. There's not a Christmas movie.
All around. There's a blizzard going on, so it's
So it's a winter movie.
Yeah,
it's a winter movie. It has Christmas decorations.
Yeah,
but this movie, you could take Christmas out of it, and it can still happen. 100%. It is not a Christmas movie.
Yeah, I would agree. They definitely could have done a lot better with the Christmas aspect to it. Like if you're going to have that Christmas aspect, then you barely put any of that in this movie.
Yeah.
The only thing I can say that was apparent to me was the lighting and stuff. There was a lot of like the red and green, the way that just the movie was lit. There was a lot of that. Kind of like Christmas Bloody Christmas. Not on that level, because that was like way over the top with the lighting. But there were definitely parts where I was like, okay, this is where they're trying to throw that in, you know?
No. Disagree.
And the movie
Disagree.
starts and ends with "What child is this?" So that's a Christmas song.
Oh,
Doesn't matter.
You guys didn't know that? Okay.
Joel, I didn't
That's a
pick up on that.
Good rendition. I like that.
Yeah.
That rendition.
Oh,
of
the
it.
song, yes. Sorry.
Yeah.
I thought you were saying the someone said that at the beginning and
No,
at
the
the end.
song.
But
in the
yes, that
beginning and the
song.
end.
Yes,
Yeah.
you're right. That is a Christmas song.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't make a Christmas movie. I could put a Christmas song in anything. No, I didn't notice the lighting at all. I noticed at one point there was like a tree. At one point there were Christmas lights at one point, but not anything significant enough to be like, oh, I feel Christmassy.
Yeah.
Like
They
no.
didn't even mention Christmas, I
Nope.
don't think. In the
No.
movie.
Nope.
No.
Yeah.
It was
So-
nothing.
Yeah.
I did. I think I meant. I saw more of like the green than I did the red, and I thought the green was going to like somehow relate to the Green Lantern, which Charm was talking
Oh, that's
about.
right.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. part
Yeah.
of the
Yeah.
movie. That was
Because there was like
strange.
rooms that were like glowing green, and like
Yeah.
green was all around. So I'm like, is this a Green Lantern kind of?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
referenced Green Lantern a good amount, actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was strange. That was really. I did not get that. Like, I didn't get how that connected to
I got
much.
so one of my favorite scenes in the movie is the dinner table scene where they're all
Mhm.
Yeah.
together, and I love a good like religious discussion amongst
Yeah.
people. And when Green Lantern was actually brought up in that was actually a really good moment, I thought.
Mhm.
But other than that, like just like Green Lantern and wants to write a comic book about it. I don't know. It's just kind of
Yeah,
a
Well, I
and then,
random.
feel
like,
like
there's
it
that
was-
scene in the bedroom.
Oh yeah, that. But that was all. That was
Heck?
all in her
I
head.
know, I
think.
know.
Yeah. That
But
wasn't actually-
okay, so here's the thing. I feel like I got that because it was like that was how she felt okay about herself.
Mm.
Like having this this difference in herself, having
Mhm.
this creature within herself.
Mhm.
It helped her feel okay
Yeah.
with being different. And I think superheroes can really help people
Yeah.
that feel different in that way.
You can relate to him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and feel like, okay, I can use this difference for good,
Yeah.
right? Like I don't have to this doesn't have to be a negative thing. This doesn't have to be something that holds me back. This can be what moves me forward.
Yeah, but then you get to the end and it's like, what?
Well, it's kind of unsure of everything seems unsure by the end.
yeah.
I think that you're
So-
just kind of unsure of anything
What
that
you just
happened
watched.
before.
So yeah, I mean, there you go. If anything is going to be a teaser for this movie, it's that. Like,
Yeah.
what was anything when you watch and get to the end?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did
It's
we
like-
even
life
just watch
itself.
anything?
Yeah, yeah.
Very philosophical.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and grade it and get into spoilers. Joel, what do you got?
So I did really like this movie, and I do want to watch it again because I want to pick up on stuff that I had to have missed. There's some stuff that I watched it last night from as of recording this, and still today I'm like, I don't know. There's still some stuff that I'm like questioning, but I really like the acting a lot. The writing was really good. I'm gonna give this an 83.
Wow.
That's my score.
Is that yours?
Nice. Very good.
Yeah.
All right, 283s.
I'm doing an 83 too because of the same things too. Because of the watchability of it, like, I did not think I was gonna like this. I didn't want to watch it. I didn't want to see Kate in this way. I didn't want to um I didn't want anything to do with it. And then watching it, I'm like, oh man, I want to watch that again. And I even rewound it. And then after watching it again from the where I fell asleep, I rewound it some more because I'm like, wait, I want to see that part again now. And so it's very watchable. I feel like I could watch this over and over again and catch things every time, catch something new
Yeah.
and see it in a different way and hear the dialogue in a different
Yeah.
way. And so the
Yeah.
watchability of it.
Yeah, that was something that was kind of turning me off with some of the dialogue,
Uh-huh.
because I was like, why, like, what's happening here? Some of it was just a little off, and a little, like, the flow was kind of disjointed, but then you get to the end and maybe that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then it makes you want to go back and be
Yeah.
like, oh, I want to hear that conversation again.
Yeah.
And there was one part that was tough to watch. And I was very glad that while they showed enough to get the disturbing feeling around it that needed to happen, they didn't show too much that made you just feel like I'm not watching this anymore, you know?
Mhm.
And so that I appreciated because I think they were pretty tactful with how short they made that scene.
Mm.
And the acting was very good. I thought the
Yeah,
acting was
all
actually
around.
really good. So,
Okay. You know, I think I'm gonna go 83 too.
oh,
copy you guys.
83 all the way
Yeah.
around.
I think the more I talk about it and the more we talk about it, it's kind of like, yeah, this is worth another watch. And
Was it
this is
lower
the kind of
before?
movie. What's that?
Well, was your score going to be lower before?
I was kind of thinking lower. I was going to go in the high 70s at first. But yeah, and this is the kind of movie where, because it's not too Christmas themed, you can watch this at any time. Really.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not a Christmas
It's
movie.
really about the story and the psychological aspect of the
Yeah.
movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll go with 83 too. I think we're all kind of saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. Well, and I had initially thought a little bit lower because I didn't like the creature very much. And like, I thought that it was kind of like, why did you turn it into this particular thing? And I did not get it until you said that. And I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, I'm getting it now. And
Yeah.
that is okay. My score will go back up.
Yeah, if the creature looked better, it would have definitely bumped it up quite a bit for me.
Yeah, and I think it had a very, now that thinking about it, I'm like, oh, that was actually very creative of why they created it, that creature. Yeah. Okay.
All right, so let's get into spoilers.
Hey guys, I wanted to ask you, why did we choose Zencastr to do our podcast?
It's a good question.
Yeah, it is. So we had gone to a bunch of different companies, different sites, and either the quality wasn't great or the pricing just wasn't in our wasn't what we were wanting to pay. But then we went to Zencastr, and the quality was really good, and the price was very affordable too. So we've been with them for about 6 months or so. Maybe slightly less. And yeah, it's been really good so far. So yeah.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I remember when you guys were looking around.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
okay.
What I like about Zencastr is the ease of it. It's really easy to set up a recording, to invite Joel. We have to invite Joel into the recording, and then after, there's some post-production that you can do. You can do some editing after you're done. So it's like an all-in-one type of service.
Okay, so that's why it doesn't take you as long to do all the editing.
Yeah.
Because guys, it used to take him all night. Now he gets it done pretty quick. He does a bunch of episodes all together.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Okay, so we actually have a deal for you guys. If you go to zencaster.com/pricing and use my code Scare Talk, and you'll get 30% off your first month of any Zencaster paid plan. I want you to have the same easy experience I get for all my podcasting and content needs. It's your time to share your story.
Yes.
So, where to start?
I want
The
to
creature.
start
The creature.
with, well, I
Well,
kind of want
Joel,
to start
go
with
ahead.
a different creature because we
Oh.
saw one. We saw the dad in the kitchen with Corey.
Was that the dad?
The demon thing.
Was that
Creature. What?
okay?
It said
That's
that it
what I
was
was wondering.
dad.
Yeah,
It
it did
said
say
that
that.
it was Charm's
Wait.
dad.
Tell me
Yeah.
this again. What?
Did you? Is this the part that you fell asleep?
I don't know. I went back and watched. So
It was Corey, so the
I
dude
remember
that
Corey.
was there.
Yeah.
He went into the kitchen and
get
there was
water.
like this, to get water, and there was this, it was just a black figure that had kind of like spikes and stuff.
Oh, I do remember this.
And
Okay.
I was like, it said it was Charm's dad.
I remember being very confused when
Yeah.
it said that.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, wait, is that just the mom talking, saying that she's the dad, or is that Charm, or is that actually the dad? Because that's the only time we see him.
Yeah.
But
And
Faith
Go
also
ahead.
did. Oh, sorry.
no, you go.
Faith did mention at one point that he does come around sometimes. The
Yeah.
dad.
Mhm.
She did say that.
So I'm like, to have until we get to the end of the movie, thinking that she's got this creature inside of her, because we heard growling upstairs. At this point, we didn't actually see the creature yet.
Yeah.
I don't think. I think the next scene we're about to, but in the scene we haven't seen the creature yet. We've just heard like growling and stuff going on upstairs. So in my mind, I was like, well, something. Did she like? Is this like a Rosemary's Baby kind of situation? Just with the baby all like grown up now, and like maybe she's got some demon inside her,
She's
and
possessed because of who her father is.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm like, is that what this is supposed to be, or? Because
Yeah.
we don't see him again. He wasn't like, it was kind of a tense scene, but he didn't do anything.
Yeah,
So
he didn't do
it's
anything.
like,
Yeah.
he just wanted the picture.
And then he
So-
didn't really talk about it after Corey.
No, he didn't. Yeah.
So with
I was like,
the-
why wouldn't you say something about that?
Yeah, I
That's like
know.
a pretty interesting experience.
So this is what comes to my mind is with the very end of how she remembers Corey, like how when she
Yeah.
sees the Polaroid and she remembers Corey and she remembers that was the bad thing that she did, the
Mhm.
worst thing she did, you know. I was thinking, oh, was Corey the Charm's dad?
Mm.
That's what it made me think.
Hmm.
And then in the kitchen, if that creature, he
Well,
came
we
in
don't-
contact with that creature,
Mm.
but he's the only one who saw the creature, and he's the only one who.
Yeah, but he
Um,
wasn't actually there.
No.
So how is there like record of that?
And reality of this whole thing, which we're going to talk about, these people are not actually in the house.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so
that all happened in like 98.
Yeah.
but I guess with the idea of it is, was he in the house, but as the creature?
Mm. Corey?
Like,
you're
because the
saying?
only time that creature,
Mhm.
the only time that creature showed itself or whatever, or was even shown to us, was when Corey was in the scene. That was a Corey scene, right?
Well, I don't think the creature even exists.
Mm-mm.
I
But
don't think
maybe
the
that's
creature
what
is-
kind of it was representing
right,
Corey
right,
after what she did to him.
right. Yeah. But then I would think that she would be in that scene, you know?
And not the quote.
But there's a
unquote
lot
vampire.
of scenes where she's not there and it's, you know,
But they have
Scout
yeah,
Taylor Compton and Corey, I don't remember her name,
I don't
the character
remember
name.
either. Yeah.
They're having like conversations and stuff and we don't see Faith with them. So,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you could be onto something there.
Yeah. I don't know. It made me think that was their connection to Charm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, could very well be. And the creature is obviously connected with Corey because she killed him with drugs or like you know, got him hooked and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then he died. Right? He died, right?
I don't know if it
Yeah.
showed him die or if it
He
just
was
it was
It
implied.
was
overdosing.
overdosing, yeah.
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 I guess we don't know for sure. But
Yeah. And that was the thing. I remember one line that stands out to me so much is when the sister was saying to Corey, don't let, like, they were talking about, you know, trying to talk to the nurse, you know,
Mhm.
like, I'll just talk to her. And she was like, don't get carried away like last time or something. Like,
Mm.
don't let her
yeah.
Yeah.
get to you like
Like there
last
was
time.
a history there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I keep going back to that of like, okay, but they weren't there. Like, so what was that? You know, like,
Yeah.
what any of those conversations that it was just the two of them.
Mhm.
It's like, well, what was that then?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
It was really just for the audience to be thrown off, you know,
Yeah.
to think that these people are actually in the house, they're actually having these conversations. But their conversations were like that's part of the like disjointedness. I was like some of their conversations were just like to me, and I can't pinpoint anything specific, but it just felt like why are they talking about that? Or why aren't they talking about this? Like
Mhm.
his
Mhm.
experience in the kitchen. Like why wouldn't
Yeah.
that be brought up?
Yeah.
And certain things they were doing, like why did Corey go into the closet?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. That was so confusing.
Yeah.
And why
Why
wouldn't
did
he
he
come
go over
out? He
there?
was like just like this little peekaboo thing he was
Yeah.
Yeah,
doing.
it was so weird.
Yeah,
Like
it
I
was
didn't
really
understand
weird.
that part at all. And I kept thinking I missed something.
Yeah.
That was one of the parts that I like rewound it again.
Yeah.
Like, wait, let me go watch that again because I was so confused.
Well, I know. I mean, I know why he didn't want to come out. Just because he was an intruder, and you know, if she saw his face, then she can turn him in or whatever.
Yes, he did say that.
Yeah. So
It
let's
was
talk
just
about
weird.
the big. Yeah, it was very weird.
It was just
that kind of
weird
like
and awkward.
that. Yeah, that all kind of goes into what we're tiptoeing around in this this whole twist ending here, which is it was all in her head? Question mark. They tried to do this like whole Sixth Sense type ending,
Yeah.
where they're not around, they're not there. Nobody except for her, except for Faith, had any actual conversations with either of those two because they're all in her head.
Mhm.
My issue with that is they both had separate conversations with Charm at different
Yeah.
times. So it's like,
And
who was she
that's
talking
where-
to in those?
Yeah. And that's where
Well,
like
she's talking
okay.
to her. She's talking to Kate or
Faith.
Faith. She's talking to Faith is talking to Charm as one of them.
Yeah, but in the so I get that with him when he's in the closet and it's actually her and she escapes before Charm sees her. But so she didn't actually see her face at all. But she saw the girl's face. Like they had a one-on-one conversation with each other, and Charm even said, "Where'd you get the key? There's only one place that you could have That, like, as far as I know, there's not a copy of the key.
Right. So why would she say that if she's talking to Faith
Yeah,
at that
yeah.
time? Yeah. Unless she's messing with her mom or just playing along. I don't know.
Yeah, but we don't ever get that kind of like
Yeah.
that's their relationship at all in this movie. Like, you know, the mom's just playing characters and she's just playing,
Yeah.
like she's just going with it, kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. So with having
But we're seeing, except for those conversations that we talked about where
Mhm.
Faith isn't even there, I feel like we're seeing everything through Faith's perception,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah,
So then it's like hard to know what the actual relationship is, you know?
Mhm.
Because obviously it's not what we saw. You know, if she's
yeah,
trying to drug her daughter and, you know, pump her full of these meds and stuff that she doesn't need,
yeah.
that's obviously a different relationship than what was being shown
hmm
until
And
the
that's
end when
where
we see that.
that's yeah, and that's kind of where I like guessed where like in the beginning ish, not guessed, but I was like, is this where it's going? Like, is this all going to be in her head? And
Yeah.
you know, these, you know, nothing's actually going on right now. But
Yeah.
so it was
Yeah.
like that kind of, but
Yeah.
it also wasn't like that because like I was saying, there were actual conversations, and at times Charm was actually making eye contact, like at a dinner table scene
Yeah.
with the other people at the other
Yeah.
two.
That's what I was thinking.
Like,
Yeah.
why would she be looking in different directions?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, that's Faith's perception of what's happening. She might not actually be doing that, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when at the very beginning, we have Faith with her suitcase, right?
Yeah.
She's looking out
Yeah, I love that.
the blizzard and everything. And was she about to like go out and party? Is that what she was about
Yeah.
to do? But then there was a blizzard, so she didn't. So she put the suitcase away. Is
Yeah.
that what was happening there?
Yeah, I think so. And I think she didn't because her daughter caught her.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
So yeah, because I was like trying to connect, like why was that the beginning? You know.
Yeah.
And
well,
why does
and
she
it
even
tied
have
it
this
back.
suitcase still? You know, I was
Yeah.
thinking that, like, okay, she, you know, obviously has this drug history that she's passed, but why would she have this suitcase?
The daughter
and
talks about
everything?
why she had the suitcase in the closet. She talked about the suitcase.
But
And mom still has this suitcase.
yeah,
She says it's because what does she say?
is it like a
It's
reminder for her or something?
I don't. She says that there's nothing in it and whatever. But I know that there's still, you know,
Yeah.
stuff in it, and she still goes and tries to take it every once in a while or whatever. You know, like I can't remember the whole dialogue, but
Right.
like,
Yeah. Yeah, it was like in the back of my mind throughout the movie, I'm like, okay, this is like a part of the movie for a reason. You know, at least I was hoping that it was
Yeah.
going to be a reason.
Yeah.
And it was obviously like the main thing was the addiction, the needles, right? For the porcupine.
yeah,
That was pretty cool. I thought
Yeah.
that was pretty cool.
yeah. Now that you explain, like, I was like,
Yeah.
why did they have a porcupine? I don't
Yeah.
get it. Like, who? Since when is there like this porcupine creature?
Yeah.
And the like rolling
Yeah.
around and trying to capture coins.
Rings.
Yeah.
Captures
Yeah.
rings.
Whatever. Yeah, it was just like, what? Why did they do this?
Yeah. It was
And
definitely a
then
first.
when you said that, I'm like, oh, yeah. I think that's a really cool reference.
Yeah.
Because the most dangerous part of a porcupine is their needles.
The needles. Yeah.
And that is what she's fighting against.
Yeah.
This
It
whole
was
time.
really sad, the end, though,
Yeah.
to know that, you know, she basically escaped, tried. I mean, this is what I think. She tried to escape, but got caught up in the blizzard and just died. trying
Was
to
there a
leave.
blizzard?
I think so, because the body was like frozen.
Yeah.
Like it was like all trapped. It was like trapped in.
So it had been there for how long?
Couple of
Because it was
days, it
like
said.
sunny.
Yeah, it was like a couple of days.
It looked like springtime.
I know.
Like
I
it
know.
looked like full on spring. She was
Yeah.
picking flowers.
Yeah,
Like it doesn't look like that after a blizzard. 2 days
That's
after a
true.
blizzard.
That's true.
So that's why I'm like, really? Was there a blizzard?
but
I
why
don't-
would she
If it was 2 days
die?
later,
Why
or-
would she have died?
because she
and
was
be trapped in this.
because
like,
she
these
was
branches?
impaled by the branches. She looked like she had been impaled.
So how did she?
And
how
so-
did that happen?
Because the branches, like she ran out into, out the door and tripped into the tree.
But it wasn't that the where she was found was like next door. It wasn't.
It was
It
next
wasn't
door.
right there. Yeah, I don't think it was right at the window
She
because
did
that's where
see
she
yeah,
saw
so
like
the
the ambulance and stuff.
ambulance was like across the street
Yeah,
from where she was, and I think that's where she was in the tree across
Yeah.
the street.
Huh. Well,
Yeah.
I don't
Um,
know. But I still question if there was actually if there was a blizzard and like all
Question
this
this whole
because
movie.
yeah, it just was like, I mean, because I didn't understand what the time frame was like of okay, how long has this been?
Mhm.
Because I'm telling it was spring. She was
Yeah,
picking
That's-
flowers.
yeah, but again, it's her perception because she just had a conversation with her daughter too in the house.
Oh
And
yeah,
she was all happy and it was all perfect.
yeah,
Yeah.
And then she sees the Polaroid as she's picking flowers. And then it kind of like comes back to her
Everything. Yeah.
and then we see the body in the branches and then it's over.
mm-hmm.
And that bringing back to that, sometimes the dialogue was like little disjointed. I felt
Yeah.
that when I still can't remember. She's like the only person in this movie that I can't remember the name of, but Scout Taylor
Yeah.
Compton, her character when she's leaving, and Faith goes, "No, don't leave me." And I'm like, why?
Yeah.
Why would she care?
Yeah,
she
why would
left.
she do that? Yeah.
Why, unless she just doesn't want to be alone with it, because at this point it's a full-on creature.
Yeah.
But I'm like, why would she care if she left right now? And then
Yeah.
you see the flashback, and it's actually the daughter leaving.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I'm like, okay, that makes more sense why she would say
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I was just like, what is going on here? And
I know that part
Oh.
was weird.
yeah, and also with her leaving, like that was kind of out of character. I mean, I know these characters don't exist, but kind of out of character to leave her brother behind when
Yeah.
her brother was
Yeah, I
the
thought
one
it
that was
was-
wanting to leave earlier, and she's like, "No, we
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah.
We gotta save her." Now she's like, "I'm
Yeah.
leaving." Bye.
Yeah. I thought it was weird that she just suddenly took off. I was like, what?
Yeah,
Yeah.
What is happening? I don't get this. This movie is really bad or I'm missing something. 'Cause
Yeah.
It seemed like I was like kind of like, okay, this movie's kind of lame, for a little while. I was because of the dialogue and how it just wasn't making sense. Some of the characters' behavior didn't really make sense. And then the creature was kind of weird looking,
Mhm.
but
The
you
end.
just gotta wait for it. You just gotta
Yeah.
get through it, and it
Yeah.
all kind of makes sense, kind of at the end.
Sense
Okay,
question
her
mark.
name is Liz.
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 Okay.
Okay, yeah,
The religious conversation was interesting.
Yeah.
I
There's
thought
a
that was
couple of
good.
those in there. And
Yeah.
I wonder. So I'm watching this movie. I'm like, how is what's the message being sent here? How is this going to end? Because
Uh-huh.
on one hand, Faith was the one like attacking Liz and Corey for like their religious beliefs and stuff, and Liz was like
Mhm.
very quiet and like very like patient and like gave answers back and forth, like it just. So I'm like, is this gonna like is there gonna be some religious like overtones here, or is this gonna like how is this all gonna like play out? Because
Yeah.
your main character is a very very angry character with God. So it's like-
Yeah. Well, and it's
then-
interesting because she's been in Christian movies.
She
right?
is in
Yeah.
Christian movies.
Yeah.
And she's yeah.
Means
So
faith.
Huh?
Her name's Faith too. Like
Her name's
that's
Faith, and
yeah.
it was weird to see her in this because I really like her in the movie Breakthrough, and that is a Christian film, and it was weird to see her in this light where she was very much against that.
Yeah.
And I think
That's
that like just so shows so much like great dynamic that she can have as
Yeah.
an actress.
Yeah, she was believable for
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that the movie intentionally didn't really end on a side,
sure. Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
They just introduced the two very extreme feelings around it
Mhm.
and allowed for the conversation to just stay there where
Yeah.
you just were left to think.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Well, it
she's
makes
having this battle.
sense.
Mhm.
What was that?
I was just gonna say it. After knowing what happens, finding out that she's having this like internal like religious battle with herself
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
she doesn't exist. So
Yeah.
obviously, she's having this like back and forth with herself about like and yeah.
Yeah,
So-
that's what I was gonna say. It makes sense to have these conversations. And Liz and Corey were like, the real people were almost like missionaries, or like they were
Yeah.
Yeah. trying to
Well,
help.
he was with AA, right?
Yeah,
Like he was trying
I
to
don't
get
know.
her. Yeah, he had the pamphlet.
Oh, okay.
And that's why he
No, that
went
was
back
the AA
to
pamphlet. Okay.
Yeah, that's why he went back to talk to her. He
Mhm.
thought he could help her.
Yeah.
Because he saw something in her.
Yeah.
And so part of AA is having faith,
Yeah.
right? And so faith. And then the sister was very much
Yeah.
very religious and seemed to kind of like hold her religious power over her brother.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'm a better follower than you, and
Right.
and quoting the Bible and being very, very high and mighty about it. And it
Sure.
almost seems like it's like Faith's kind of two parts of her.
Yeah.
Of the part that wants to lean into that,
Yeah.
and then the part that
Doesn't
isn't able to.
Can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, it's a thinker.
Yeah. Yeah. It really leaves
And
you
it
wanting to
really
see it again. And
gets into addiction and the struggles around that, which
Yeah.
horror is doing a really good job with things like that.
Mhm.
Really tapping into whether it be mental health or just like addiction, like this movie, or just different psychological issues, I guess,
Yeah.
within human people.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and this one didn't just touch on the addiction. I think what ate her up even more than just the addiction was the actions she did
Yeah.
during the addiction.
Yeah, the guilt behind that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Because of what she
it was right after her daughter asked her about that when they showed up.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so it was like that was like a triggering question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
If
because
that question was even asked. Who
no,
knows?
no. I think it was. I absolutely think that like that was kind of her lucid state.
Mhm.
And it was after that question
Yeah.
that she
definitely changed.
Yep.
After that
Yeah.
question, she was looking at her arm, and she was kind of like off
Mhm.
at that point. So,
Yeah. Yeah,
it makes
and it-
sense that was when it turned.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just
So-
struck her too much.
Yeah. So the point in which I didn't mind seeing like the creature anymore at the end of this was like the whole quote unquote fight scene between Faith and this like porcupine demon creature.
Yeah.
She like stabs him with a needle, and
Mhm.
for some reason it like opens up and it's like glowing inside. But I'm like, all right, I'll just whatever, go
Just go
get
with
past
it.
this part. Yeah. And then like pulls the daughter out of
Yeah.
the demon itself. I was like, that's okay. I like that little metaphor
Yeah.
of pulling her out of the darkness that she was
Yeah.
Mhm.
in.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, at that point, like, okay, the creature still looks a little, a little cheesy, but like I can accept it because there's a deeper like meaning behind the creature itself. So I'm like, okay,
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah,
But she was already gone at that point. She had already ran out the window.
yeah, she was already gone. Yeah,
Yes, but at the end, she still had this view. She still had this idea in her head that
Yeah.
she saved her daughter.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so she was still battling
Mhm.
because she wasn't able to accept that her daughter went out the window.
Yeah.
In her
She saw
mind,
Liz.
it was Liz that went
Yeah.
out the window. In her mind, she couldn't accept that, right? She was still in that
She had to be the
mindset.
hero at the end.
Mhm.
Green Lantern.
Yeah,
Well, and she was in that mindset that Liz and Corey were
Mhm.
still there,
Mhm.
right? And so she had to save her daughter.
Yeah.
And then she was no longer able to live in this fantasy once she actually saw the facts, the truth, and
The-
proof.
Yeah. The Polaroid really
Mhm.
kind of took her back.
Yeah.
I thought, and that was another thing that was just weird. The dude was looking through the suitcase. Why was he looking through the suitcase? I mean, he was just
Because
curious
she
about the
told-
suitcase.
Because she told him about the suitcase.
I know, but so he's a druggie? Like he wants to use? Is that
Well,
what was
he's
happening?
probably just
there?
or
curious
he
about it.
was curious
Yeah.
if what
Yeah.
she was saying was true.
Yeah.
Because
he was a curious guy. Like he was, he had this like broken leg or whatever he had, but he's
They hit him
because
with it.
she
around the
stabbed
house.
him with
Yeah.
the bat.
Yeah, with
No,
the
I
bat,
know,
with
but
the
you would think he would not want to be traveling around the house, sneaking around, going through suitcases and closets, and I don't know. I just thought he had weird behavior. And he's in the suitcase, and there's a Polaroid, and he takes a picture of himself and then puts the picture in the suitcase. Like, why would you do that?
But then he picked it up again and saw a
Mhm.
figure behind him in that picture.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And that's what the figure in the kitchen was like.
That
Corey,
was the
you have
kitchen
something
figure.
for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then like reaches
But
and
I
grabs
mean,
him.
the point was, the picture was in the suitcase.
Yeah.
But I just thought why would he take a picture of himself, like right in his face?
Mhm.
And
I don't think
he's
he
trying
meant
to.
to.
Probably not used to Polaroids. We don't have
Yeah, I
Polaroids
don't think-
anymore.
But he, like, if he's trying to sneak around, why would he put the picture in the suitcase?
But he went back and took it back out.
Did he?
Yes.
Yeah.
He didn't put it back in?
Because
No.
that's
Oh, I
no,
thought he put it back in.
He put it in and then was still going through the pictures and then saw the picture that he took of himself and saw that there was something behind him, like a face behind him.
And
then
he didn't put it back?
No,
Oh,
No,
he
he
kept
kept it.
Like,
Oh, okay.
And the
Creature
thing
was
is
what grabbed him.
I don't know that he meant to take. I don't think he meant to take the Polaroid, and I don't know that he even knew that a picture was going to develop. Like Joel said, he might not have known what a Polaroid was. So he saw this like empty thing and didn't know what the heck just happened. So he threw it back, and then when he saw that it started developing, he picked it up and looked,
yeah.
and he saw the creature, and he kept it.
Okay.
He didn't freak
I don't
out
know.
or anything.
It
I would have
is
freaked
weird.
out if there was something behind
Yeah.
me.
I know.
Yeah.
But
Just
I
some
think,
of the behavior was
I
a
mean,
little
to
off
me, I could understand why he wanted to go look at the suitcase, because if some chick is telling you that their mom is a druggie and only says that she's rehabbed, but she still keeps her party thing. I'd want to see, is this true? Like, is that really what's in the suitcase, or is this girl paranoid and thinks that's what's in the suitcase? And because he said, how do you know that's what's in there?
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, I just know, I can tell.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
so,
I don't know. If I got a busted leg like that, I'm not creeping around the house and going.
But
to the
He was
in the
complaining
end,
for the first minutes when that happened. Like,
then
laying
he
on
kind
the
of got
couch
over
and
it, I guess.
it rehabbed.
Yeah.
Hmm.
All right.
Okay.
Good movie. Go check it out.
Definitely.
That was our last film for the 12 Days of Scaremas.
Yep.
And tomorrow, Katrina has a pick.
Yep.
I have a pick.
Yeah. This is your last pick. It's our final episode.
Oh, but not a movie.
Not a movie.
Okay.
No.
No. On the 12th day of Scaremas, our true love gives to us the top 5 Christmas movies of the year.
Not
No,
of the year.
ever,
Or
whatever. I don't know what I'm
Christmas
doing here.
Top
Top
5
5 Christmas movies ever.
favorite Christmas horror
And
Christmas movies.
listen, they have to be Christmas, and if they are not, I will call you out on it.
Okay.
Now, well, you're
It
probably going to
must
call me
be.
out because there's
Joel?
not going to be that many to choose from if you're saying it has to be Christmas.
Yes, I made a list. There are enough to choose from.
All right.
There's
Well,
that are good.
see.
Like, no.
No, they don't have to be good.
No, it's a top 5. They don't have to be good.
Well, it's a top 5 Christmas horror. It's not.
All right. So tomorrow we're going to talk about the only 5.
No,
Yeah,
sorry.
The 5 only.
We'll see.
Between
No, we
three
got a
of
good
us,
list
yeah.
for you guys. Yeah. We'll have a good list for you guys tomorrow.
And I think that we'll have some variety in this list.
I think so. We'll see.
Joel's gonna have winter movies.
I might have
I saw snowfall.
There's a Christmas tree in the background. All right, yeah. So on top of that, go get some Liquid IV Scare Talk code. Get 20% off. If you want to make cool podcasts like we do, then you're going to want to go to Zencaster.com.
Yes.
Use our code Scare Talk. You get 30% off. And that's it.
Yeah, share your story, guys. This is fun. This has been Scare Talk. Scare Miss.
Sleep tight. Scare Miss Talk. Sleep tight.
Don't let the Pokemon.